You are looking live at Lycanthorpe Field at Evo 9X Stadium for this Sunday night SFL matchup between the visiting Queen City Corsairs and the Los Angeles Lycans. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. I'm Cameron Duty, and I'm joined by my partner, Chad Rowland. Chad, we have two teams who are very familiar with each other in this long-standing rivalry. 11 previous matchups between the two. Now Queen City comes in here with an impressive opening day victory over Oklahoma City. And Los Angeles finds himself still searching for the first win of the season. So who do you have your eyes on in this matchup, my friend?
Yeah, good evening, SFL. Chad Rowland here, coming live to you from LA. And I got to tell you, one of the guys that I've really been looking at is Ace Ketchum for Queen City, right? Last week, over 100 yards. It was the first 100-yard rusher Queen City's had since October 28, 2023, when they played against Motor City in season 21. So look for him to make a big impact against this defense tonight.
Going to be a lot of fun. We get to take a quick look at this beautiful stadium here in Los Angeles. Queen City will get the football to start, and like I say, folks, you're not going to want to go anywhere for the next hour and a half or so. This should be a good one. We're glad to have you along for the ride. This will be returned out to the 28-yard line, which is where Queen City will set up shop. And an interesting stat to pass along here, Chad. Queen City could start 2-0 for the first time since the year 2017 if they get the victory tonight.
Yeah, that is completely insane that they have not had a 2-0 start for quite some time. Since season 17, they looked really good last week against Oklahoma City. Let's see what they do against this LA defense.
Yeah, season 17, as a matter of fact. Check that. When we welcome you in, folks, if you're just joining us, it is Queen City with the all-white uniform, Los Angeles there in the blue. First down, the handoff. Good up the middle. Charlie Baker with the first carry, a gain of 7. Let's say hello to this starting lineup for Queen City. The quarterback, Michael Brown. The two halfbacks, Ace Ketchum and Charlie Baker. The wide receiving core of Adrian Ellis Sr., Joseph Baudet, Ryan Davis, Bob Wood, and Joe Beasley. The two tight ends, James Matthew Jr. and Tyler Bobby. The guard is Kai Pickle, and the center, Demon Pickle. A handoff here. There's Ketchum with the first down, Chad.
Yeah, and you're seeing that 1-2 combo already at work here. Charlie Baker, with that speed, was able to get up the middle there on that first run. Ace Ketchum getting that first down for him.
To put a point of emphasis, we did say it was season 17 that since Queen City started out 2-0, that was actually about the year 2019. To put that into perspective, on first down, on the run play, it's a gain of 3, 2nd and 7 coming up. Let's say hello to your Los Angeles defense here. The defensive ends, Alex Perez, Ace Blackwell. The defensive tackles, Selwyn Lane and Nick Brummer and Bear Winters. The linebacking core, Tazzy Blackwell, Greg Ward, and Brogan Sparrow. And that is where we'll stop at for this play on second down. Keeping it on the ground once more. There's a short pickup, 3rd and 6 coming up. We will finish here with this defensive lineup. Devontae Moore, Max Scott, and Eaton Moss are the cornerbacks. And then the free safety, Rochelle Colston and Monty White. And the strong safety, Ben Charbs. Big 3rd and 6 coming up here. Brown dropping back, throwing across the middle to one of his tight ends. That is James Matthew Jr. It is short as he is wrapped up by Greg Ward, 4th and 2.
Yeah, you kind of hope that Matthews Jr., being that veteran, would know where that first down marker is and trying to get past that to get the first down, but does not and just falls just a little short.
On the punt this evening is Trace Welsh, the rookie, undrafted. It's a good boot here and a fair catch called for at the 14-yard line. Now for Los Angeles, Chad, we talked about their loss in week 1, unfortunately, as they fell to a tough Fort Worth team. They got to come out here and quickly establish some sort of tempo and urgency, you would think.
Yeah, the offense needs to get going. The defense has always been that bend, don't break type of thing. The offense is what has always been a struggle here for LA in the past few seasons. Let's see if they can get it going tonight.
Sully Richardson is the quarterback. He lines up under center and tosses to Darius Iniquez, who shakes a tackle. Good running on first down. a 6-yard gain, 2nd and 4 coming up. We will introduce you to the LA starting offense. We mentioned Sully Richardson at quarterback, the two halfbacks that you will see tonight, Darius Iniguez and Patrick Rudling. The halfback, Sawyer Stern, and the fullback, Dan Curtis. The wide receiving core, Bubba Tree, LZ Pryor, and Chris Lee. The two tight ends, Adam Grabowski and Jack Flash. The tackles, Orrin Wilds and Bob Watoska. The guard, Hunter Watoska, and Atlaeus Wilds. As you see, a first down there by Rudling, the other running back in this two-headed tandem, getting the first down.
Yeah, Iniguez it's kind of like what Queen City has, right? You got Iniguez who's the speed, and you got Rudling who is the power. And so, as they did on the first drive, LA's got their own little 1-2 punch for first down.
Richardson to throw. The pass is complete. Going up for that one was Chris Lee, kind of climbing the ladder there and bringing that one down for the first.
The always dependable Chris Lee, just a nice breakaway from the defender, makes a great catch, and that is what you want to see if you're Sully Richardson. He's got a tendency to throw some interceptions, but having that first pitch and catch right there is something to build on.
A two-time All-Star. That is Chris Lee, and again, we see him going in motion here from right to left. That will be two receivers lined up to the left side of Sully Richardson on this first down play. It's a quick throw, one-handed grab. And that is to Chris Lee once more, so two straight in his direction, and 2nd and 3 coming up.
As a former coach, and I have always loved the little quick slant passes right there, just a short 1-2 step drop from Sully. Bang, bang play, getting those quick yards, setting up a nice 2nd and short.
And a rather harmless play, too, when done effective. Turnover risk is quite low on that. On the ground game here, it goes nowhere. Rudling with the carry. Stops short on 3rd and 1. We will, in just a moment, introduce you to the Queen City defense. We'll see if they can make a stand here. Big play coming up for the home team. High formation. They keep it on the ground, and pushing himself forward is Darius Iniguez, and they're actually going to say he was stopped just short. 4th and inches. They're going to give the tackle, I believe, to Robert Cron in his first year over from D.C.
And I love this play call. Oh, there we go. That's what I was waiting to see, if the coaching staff was going to throw it, because it looked like he actually crossed that first down marker. But let's see what the replay says.
I would agree, and that's going to set us up for a retroactive look at the play. Get your console to play SFL on the go at GoRetroid.com.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he did not cross it, but it looks like right there he does. Yeah, right there, I think he's got it across. I think that's going to get overturned.
Yeah, even following with forward progress, it seems. And just like we expected, the call on the field is overturned. LA is not charged at the timeout, so a good challenge there. As you said, Chad, we expected it. And because of that, fresh set of downs, 1st and 10. We will now mention this Queen City defense. The defensive ends, Harley Wilson and P. Fudor and Chad Stinson. Defensive tackles, Robert Cron. The linebacking core of Jasad Grackleflint, Luke Swift, Finn Steele, and Morgan Brown. We'll pause right there for this next play. Empty set for quarterback Sully Richardson. On first down, pressure coming, and he runs right into traffic. Chad Stinson lowering the boom. It's a 5-yard loss on first down.
It was like he just knew right when that snap count was going on. Sully Richardson looked like he was going to scramble to the outside there after that pocket collapse, but he just met Chad Stinson right there. Big play.
Stinson able to maneuver around Bob Watoska there, who was assigned with keeping him at bay. We'll see if that sack derails this offensive series. Richardson to throw into traffic. Not very effective. That is incomplete. And at that very moment, we will continue with this defensive lineup. The cornerbacks, Justin Raside and Elijah Quick and Eric Belmont. And then the free safety, Alex Marshall and G.B. Wallace and Nate Hall, the strong safeties, rounding out this defensive starting lineup for Queen City. They've got Los Angeles in a bind here. 3rd and 15. Richardson will have to throw. He's going to scramble still, trying to buy time. Throws it deep, and it's intercepted. Picked off midair, going the other way by Nate Hall. An incredible play. One of athleticism there, Chad.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at that, I mean, the offensive line was holding really well for him, but it just looked a little underthrown there. And Nate Hall, the veteran, with the big pick.
Yeah, a little underthrown. You've seen Elsie Pryor there was who Nate Hall was stride for stride with, breaking off of the route to snag that interception. And so Queen City is set up very nicely here at their 47-yard line.
Let's see if they can take advantage of it.
Covert under center, I formation. Handoff going nowhere. Good job by this Los Angeles defense to respond on that play. 1 yard loss, 2nd and 11.
Yeah, that was one of the big matchups that we talked about before the game. Ace Ketchum versus that front seven. And that front seven right there, at least in this instance, won that battle.
Last week, Ace Ketchum finished with 112 yards on 17 carries. Now throwing. The contested throw tipped, and it falls incomplete. And it looked as if it was Ben Charbs who got his hand on that one to swat it away.
Yeah, not sure exactly what Richardson was looking at there. There was a guy underneath and a guy overhead. I mean, he was really just covered up pretty well. So was trying to fit that through a small window, and it ended up just being incomplete.
Michael Brown in his first season coming over from Pittsburgh. He is a season 22 All-Star trying to lead this team down the field on 3rd and 11. Pressure coming, but he throws a dart and he finds his tight end, James Matthew Jr. Now, we mentioned before the game in some of our prep work that he should have a very busy day today.
Yeah, I mean, when push comes to shove, you always go to the reliable target, and that is James Matthews Jr. He's been around for quite some time, and Michael Brown finding his dependable target right there.
One of the obstacles that a new athlete, a new player has when he comes into a new locker room is developing chemistry. And it looks like they're off to a good start, Michael Brown and James Matthew Jr. And now Brown going to scramble, steps up. He's got blocking up ahead from Matthew Jr. He gets a gain of 4, takes a shot. And I tell you what, Chad, you don't want to see your quarterback take too many of those head-on hits.
No, but Michael Brown is kind of built for that, right? I mean, he's got the awareness to know that when it's time for to go, it's time to go, and he made a nice play there for 4 yards.
And on the carry, not much. Charbs with the tackle, 3rd and 4. Interesting to note, we will also see, for the quarterback situation with Queen City, we will see Michael Brown primarily, but at times we will see Isaac Covert. So we'll keep our eye on that.
Yeah, not sure if he got in last week, but you never know. They might sprinkle him in here in a certain situation.
Ryan Davis, the wide receiver, going in motion here for Queen City as Brown pump fakes. Throwing deep. It is complete. Bought himself just enough time to find Adrian Ellis Sr. in the middle of the field. Great job of snagging that one. 1st down.
Yeah, I want to see if that pump fake worked, because right there he was able to freeze Charbs to a certain point to where Ellis was able to get open there. Great awareness there by Michael Brown to use that pump fake.
If you're just joining us, Camera Duty here with Chad Rowland, Takeda Yuki, and Corey Minner on stats. Ken Irvine at SFL headquarters. Got a good one brewing here. Brown, the throw complete to James Matthew Jr.'s right at the sticks, and they're going to say 1st and goal for the Corsairs.
Yeah, just like I say, like I keep talking about, Mr. Dependable. I mean, when you need some yardage, go to James Matthews Jr. He's a matchup nightmare for all linebackers and safeties, and he proves it right there once again.
This matchup, we have talked about the previous meetings 11 times these two teams have met. For the moment, as Los Angeles has the upper hand, but Queen City has won 3 of the last 4. 1st and goal here for the Corsairs. Looking good on this drive. Keeping on the ground. Getting rolled over is Ketchum, or no, it's Charlie Baker, excuse me. 2nd and goal coming up. Good running on 1st down by Baker.
Yeah, this is a guy that I really want to see if they can get more involved. Maybe not only in the running game when you try to get that speed on the outside, but in the receiving game as well, since he has a good set of hands on him.
Handoff, cutting inside with Randy Jordan, who comes off the bench for that play. Tried to fool him a little bit, adding a 3rd running back to that tandem. doesn't really work out to their advantage, and it's 3rd and goal here.
Yeah, every once in a while they'll sprinkle in Brown back there, or Jordan, I mean, to kind of spell those guys. But let's see what they do here in 3rd and goal.
Pressure coming, stands in, delivers a strike to James Matthew Jr. for the first touchdown of the evening, and Queen City is on the board.
I mean, he had 2 or 3 big catches on that drive, Cameron, and just once again sealing the deal right here with a big touchdown. Always looking for the dependable right there. I mean, anytime you have Matthews Jr. lined up against a linebacker, that's always a mismatch.
So Queen City able to capitalize on that defensive turnover that they were given. And now we welcome Joe Garfield onto the field to attempt the extra point. And it is good. Queen City up 7-0 with 57 seconds remaining in a fast-moving first quarter.
Yeah, and Queen City wanting to come out and set the tone, right? Because last week, obviously, a lot of people wondered, is it just a fluke because of the fact that they played against a really undermanned OKC team? They need to come out here tonight and prove it. And so far, at least in this first quarter, their defense is showing up, and now the offense has put some points on the board.
And there's so many eyes, Chad, on this Queen City team starting out so well. I mean, they had the #1 stat this past week. And like we said, we know it's been 1 week, but for 1 week, they had 521 total yards that topped the SFL in both passing and total yards. So that there's a lot of promise there with this young team, and a lot of people wanting to see if they can get things turned around, put it that way. And for Los Angeles, they are looking for their first win of the season, and a good outing here. Richardson to throw. That pass is complete as he once again finds Chris Lee, keeping him busy early in this game.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they're just finding some sort of matchup situation right there or not, but the corner looked like he played off a little bit, just not going up and trying to bump Chris Lee. I think that that's what they need to do, LA does, and maybe start trying to bump those receivers and throw them off a little bit.
They've got Chris Lee paired up with Elijah Quick. Elijah is a rookie, the 11th pick in the first round of the draft. Keep it on the ground game this time with Darius Iniguez, and he is a bright spot for this Lycans team. 4 seasons, all 4 here in LA, but this guy possesses some good speed right here.
Yeah, I mean, Iniguez is just that guy that just really can, you know, he's got the speed, but he's also just a north and south runner, right? And that's what you really look at.
Richardson now will line up under center here. It was a 9-yard gain, 2nd and 1. We may get one more play off to cap quarter #1, and we do. They keep it on the ground. That is Rudlang getting the first down and then some, bringing us to the end of the first quarter. Been a good one so far. A lot of hard hits and a lot of excitement. Queen City leads Los Angeles 7-0. You're watching the SFL on the Virtual Football Network. Welcome you back to start this second quarter. Cameron Duty with Chad Rowland, Takayuki, and Corey Minner in the stats truck, and Cameron Irvine at SFL headquarters. I'm sure we will hear from Cam a little bit later on this evening. We're excited to have the nightcap here for you on this Sunday night. Good day of football all around the SFL. And on first down, Iniguez trying to cut outside. That goes nowhere, completely snuffed out by Queen City.
Yeah, Jasad Grackleflint. Man, that was a tongue twister. Making the big play right there. And, you know, it's not easy to stop Iniguez once he gets going, but good play there by the play.
Richardson going to step up, throws a dart. I thought he was going to take off and run before unloading, throwing into traffic. Again, looking for Chris Lee. And that time, Grackleflint actually was covering Chris Lee.
There you go. The 36th overall pick in the second round. Grackleflint making a nice play on the run game and in the passing game as well.
3rd and 10 for the Lycans. Pressure coming around the edges. Now he's going to step up, try to run first, spin moves, and he's going to come up just short. Good decision to just tuck it and run instead of trying to throw one downfield very dangerously there, but it will be short.
Yeah, I wonder if that interception earlier is still in his mind right there, but he did make the correct decision no matter what, to take that ball and run with it. You had an opportunity to get that first down, just a little short of it.
John Smith on to attempt the punt. Gonna try to cough and corner it here. Fair catch at the 11, and The receiver is blown up by a huge hit by Monty Wyatt.
Yeah, Monty Wyatt, one of the big hitters on this defense. It shows it right there on a special teams play. Bob Wood had nowhere to go.
Bob Wood gets up a little woozy after that one. I'll have to check him out, make sure his bell isn't rung on the sidelines. 1st and 10 now for Queen City. The defense did its job. Now leading 7-0 here. We'll see what Queen City has up their sleeve. Keep it on the ground game to start. And a nice solid run on 1st down by Ace Ketchum, gain of 6.
Yeah, I mean, just love what he's doing. Just north and south running. That's exactly what they want out of Ace Ketchum. And he just looks like he is still going from that OKC game right into this with no problems.
Nice fluidity indeed up to that point. On the carry, it is Baker that time. Charlie Baker with the carry, 1st and 10. These two, talking about Ketchum and Baker, they have the capability to really do some damage, and we're seeing it again the 2nd week of the season.
Yeah, we saw some highlights last season when Baker was a part of the Indianapolis Ramblers and made some good plays there. Now he's coming in as a number 2 behind Ketchum and really doing a good job.
Complimenting Ace Ketchum well that time. Ward with the tackle on 1st down, a 1-yard gain, brings up 2nd and 9. Just a quick note, Michael Brown to start this game, 4 of 5, 40 yards and a touchdown. And in the rushing category, you have Charlie Baker right now leading with 21 yards. 3.5 yards a carry, so that's pretty good. Pressure coming, and he's going to be able to move it. No! He is obliterated coming in off of the edge. Selwyn Lane for the sack.
Yep, Selwyn Lane, an 8th-season veteran, his 4th season here in L.A., just jumping right off that. Nobody blocked him at all, just a free runner, and he takes out Michael Brown.
Selwyn Lane, he looked like he was on the starting line for a track meet. Big loss. 3rd and 18 coming up here for the Corsairs. We see motion. Ryan Davis moving down to the bottom of your screen, lining up with James Matthew Jr. And to throw on 3rd down. The pass intercepted and going the other way. That's Wyatt. He's going to take it down to the 2-yard line. He almost had pick 6. Comes up just short, but Monty Wyatt making his presence known again.
Man, Monty Wyatt making that play in the special teams, and here he is making the interception, knowing that Matthews Jr., they tried to run that route earlier, and it was successful. Monty Wyatt prepared for it this time, almost takes it to the house.
Stepped right in front of James Matthew Jr. They read it like a book. They knew that they would look for him on the 3rd down conversion, and Los Angeles defense putting up the biggest play of the game to this point.
And that's exactly what LA needs right here. To convert this, get the offense moving.
Split backs, Richardson to throw to the end zone, and it is a touchdown. He finds his fullback, Dan Curtis. They're 1 point away from tying this thing up.
And if you're LA, that's exactly what you want to see. Dan Curtis, a former tight end, converting over to fullback, still has those hands. It shows it right there. A little scary throw, as you saw, Cameron. There was a few of those Corsair defenders right there, but Dan Curtis was able to reel it in.
Richardson, as you said, Chad, just taking a chance right there and relying on Dan Curtis to be there at that exact moment, and he was indeed, as the extra point is good by John Smith. That didn't take long. So for both of these teams, it has been a defensive play that has been the catalyst for an offensive scoring drive.
Yeah, and really with both these teams, that's what you want to see, right? Defense can help the offense, and LA has always struggled with that. Their defense has always been able to bail them out, but the offense has never converted those. Now you see them doing that right there. And look at that fumble.
Out of the arms of the return man, and I believe that it was Goodwin who come up with it, is Adrian Ellis Sr. on the run back. He gets popped. And then take a look at this. Yeah,
he just caught it right in the air there.
Go right ahead, Chad. I think you're going to say that was a fortunate play right there for the Corsairs. You don't get those back.
No, you don't get those back at all. LA almost making them pay again. Queen City let's see what they can do with this offense here.
All of a sudden, this Lycans team comes out hard hitting. No doubt amped up after a great series. Pressure coming, drops it off to Matthew Jr. The only option really that that the quarterback had there, and there's only a gain of 2 on that one.
Yeah, Sully Richardson was hearing those footsteps behind him. That blitz was coming and was able to get right there down to the check down there with James Matthew Jr.
Michael Brown in the I formation, 2 receivers now to the top of the screen. And he will throw. Going deep and just overthrows his target there. And at that point, Chad, you know, Brown let that one sail out a little bit. You got to wonder if he wasn't able to set his feet.
Yeah, I mean, probably, you know, that pressure trying to get to him a little bit, right? So maybe he's hearing that and trying to develop them happy feet there. And but he was also double covered as well, so not sure exactly what he was looking at there.
Well, when you get obliterated, as he did a couple of plays earlier, that'll make you be a little hesitant.
Ooh.
Throwing into triple coverage again for James Matthew Jr. And right now, that's not fooling anyone. They know they're going to look his way on 3rd down, and Los Angeles is reading that like a book.
And the interesting thing is, though, even though he was triple covered, it looked like it hit him right in the numbers. He just almost looked like he wasn't even prepared for it. Very interesting there for James Matthews Jr. to come up with that kind of play there.
Yeah, a little miscommunication as we welcome Trace Welsh on to attempt the punt. Fair catch called for it around the 36-yard line, which is where Los Angeles will set up shop. Folks, we want to remind you that since we are in the year 2025, you know that means the 2025 SFL convention is just around the corner. We're headed to Baltimore, where we will kick off the league's 25th anniversary season on July the 10th through the 14th, and you can reserve your room right now at a special group rate at the Hyatt Regency over at smfl.net. First play from scrimmage. Niguez breaking free down the sideline, staying in bounds, tiptoeing, and he gets the first down.
Yeah, it just great awareness there by Niguez. You're going to watch him right here. He makes that catch. He's able to juke him out and break that tackle, and then just watch his footwork there on the sideline. Just brilliant to make sure he gets the first down and tries to get as much yardage as he can.
Absolutely impressive. Niguez, a rising star in this league in that halfback spot, known for not only, you know, being great on the halfback carries, but a reliable target on screen passes and the like. Rudlang now with a head of steam coming and gain 6 on first down. And I really like what they've got going on between their 2 halfbacks here. You see a little speed and finesse out of Niguez, but Rudlang is just kind of puts you in mind of a Mike Allstott or something.
Yeah, I mean, right now, I mean, they're splitting the carries pretty even, and they're getting some good production, and you're just seeing kind of like that thunder of lightning that we talked about earlier.
Screen pass, and Niguez going to have to turn upfield, leaps over a defender. Somehow he's going to get close to the first down. He had to reverse direction in the backfield, cuts up towards the markers, and comes up just short here.
Yeah, and he was showing that athleticism, right? He was drafted as a wide receiver, converted over into running back, and he's still showing the speed and the quickness he's got to be able to make those plays.
3rd and inches for Los Angeles, needing a big play to keep the drive alive here. Toss play to Rudlang, and he's stopped. Coming in and completely blanketing him that time on the coverage was the linebacker rookie Morgan Brown.
Yeah, I mean, with Rudland, not too sure if that's the play you want to do with a toss play, but he's more of a north to south runner, not that. But I love this aggressive play call here, Cameron.
Yeah, once again, Los Angeles being aggressive on 4th and 1. They know they got 2 stout men in the backfield, and Niguez fumbles the football, fumbles it, and coming back the other way with it. That is once again Morgan Brown, still on his feet, running down the sidelines before Blackwell pushes him out of bounds. Well into Los Angeles territory there. An incredible play on defense here by Queen City on a 4th and 1.
I mean, right there, the hit was made by number 27. That's Elijah Quick, the 11th overall pick in this first round. Then the other rookie, as we talked about, Morgan Brown, an undrafted rookie, scoops it up after making a huge 3rd down stop. The rookies for this defense for Queen City coming up big on that play.
Impressive. And, you know, that risk versus reward when going for it on 4th down, right, Chad?
Yep, that's exactly right. I mean, you are going to risk it to get the biscuit, but you gotta be able to hold on to the football.
Throwing on first down again, overthrowing his target is Michael Brown, going for Matthew Jr. once more, and just put a little too much on that one.
But see, I love what they're doing, right? You want to come out because the crowd has been getting into this, Cameron. And once you want to come out after making that big kind of defensive play and you want to strike quick down the field, they tried to do that. He just overthrew his target. I love the aggressive play call.
I agree as well. You know, both of these teams trying to make a statement tonight, trying to improve on this season here as the carry goes for a couple. 3rd and 7 now coming up. But, you know, it's so early in the season here, Chad. You've got the season right now could go either way. For Queen City, they could improve to 2-0. And for Los Angeles, they could get a victory here today, and they're back to 500. They don't want to fall into a hole.
Oh, yeah. We're in the early days of the SFL season for sure. You never know what's really going to happen here. These teams are still trying to get their footing under them for the upcoming season.
Both teams wanting to make a statement. Queen City now to throw. That was Beasley in motion, but for the moment now, Michael Brown having a very difficult time settling down. He's had a couple open targets, just overthrown them once more.
Yeah, and as I brought up before, it's interesting. They've been getting some pressure on him, right? Even if they're not getting home and getting the sack, LA is providing some pressure, and I wonder if that's really just making Brown throw these a little quicker than he wants and not being settled, as you talked about earlier.
Yeah, certainly seems rattled after he took a couple of big hits there. Now this punt by Welsh, it takes a good bounce down to the 21-yard line, which is where Los Angeles will get the football back with 3:31 remaining in a fast-moving first half. Hard to believe we're already approaching halftime here, Chad.
Yeah, I mean, the refs are letting them play. We're not getting a lot of penalties called, and these teams are just moving quick. They want to be aggressive.
Richardson under center, split backs behind him. Going to throw the pass contested, going for Chris Lee. And, you know, another thing that's apparent, both of these quarterbacks have their comfortable targets. For Queen City, you know, Michael Brown always looking for Matthew Jr. And up to this point, Richardson is looking Chris Lee's way just about every pass.
I mean, but you got some good wide receivers there. Bubba Tree, LZ Pryor. These are Jack Flash is somebody that I'm surprised hasn't gotten anything yet. I mean, Sully Richardson does have more than just Chris Lee on that wide receiver corps.
Absolutely. And speaking of Jack Flash, there he goes in motion to the right side. Pump fakes and is hit. That worked out horribly as Jasad Grackleflint comes in like a heat-seeking missile and really made Richardson pay for the pump fake.
Man, I got to tell you, these rookies for this Queen City defense have stepped up tonight. You got Morgan Brown making plays. You got Elijah Quick making plays. Now Grackleflint is just doing everything, right? Tackles for loss. He's going to deflection. Now a sack. Great defense here.
Richardson to throw. The pass to Lee. Once again, it works out that time along the sidelines. Able to cut upfield to get the first down and maybe a spark here for the Lycans.
Yeah, I'm just waiting to see how long it's going to take the head coach here, Chad Stinson, to really look at it and say, okay, maybe we just need to send all of our defensive backs over on Chris Lee because he's not throwing anywhere else right now. And Chris Lee, even with that kind of attention, is still getting open.
He able to do a good job with some of these rookie cornerbacks. Elijah Belmont was on the coverage that time. He was able to break free on the route. Richardson to throw again. The pass is complete. There is Jack Flash. We wondered where he was at. They find him on a 9-yard pass route there.
Yeah, that's who I want to see get more involved in this LA offense is Jack Flash. I mean, you know, this is somebody that can really make some plays. He only had one catch last week, so I want to see if they can get him a lot more involved in his offense because he is one of the premier tight ends in the SFL.
Bringing back the old adage, hashtag throw it to the tight end.
Yeah, somewhere Mike Dax is happy you said that.
Oh, Rudling trapped behind the blocker there, trying to push him through, and that is what
Rudling's
you do
down.
not like to see. Yeah, Rudling is down, folks.
And that's what happens when you're a power back, right? When your goal is to just make people, you know, just plow people over, and it looks like it might be a knee or a leg thing, who knows? But looks like he's able to at least walk on it. So we'll see what happens with the injury report here later on.
Yeah, we'll hope that it is just maybe a calf or something that needs worked out. That stops us shy of the 2-minute warning. We'll get one more play off. And for Los Angeles, they hate to see Rudling go down. He's been working so effectively here. That's going to put more work on Iniguez for sure. They know it, and they hound him on the right side, a gain of 2. That brings us to the 2-minute warning. We've got a good one here in Los Angeles, folks. All tied up at 7. You're watching the SFL on the Virtual Football Network. We welcome you back inside. Camera duty here with Chad Rowland. Corey Minner and Takeda Yuki on the stats truck this evening, doing a fine job. Screen pass to Iniguez. He gets a couple, but it's well contained, and that will bring up a 3rd and short.
I mean, I love the play call, but, you know, one of the things about this LA build and this LA offense is the fact that they actually have 3 running backs. They have Sawyer Stern, who's now back there as well. So even with the injury to Rugland, they still have 2 capable backs.
And there you do see Sawyer Stern on the carry. And I like this. You know, they could easily go run heavy with the Iniguez, you know, kind of their, you know, their go-to, but instead they give, you know, a young guy like Sawyer Stern here, really new to this offense, a chance to make a play, and he does so.
Yeah, Sawyer Stern, 6th-season veteran from Vancouver.
Iniguez on the carry that time. He is manhandled. Hard to bring that guy down when he gets to running, and now we start to see the timeouts as LA takes one here.
Yeah, I want to see if I would love to see a deep shot here by Sully Richardson. I know that he threw that interception earlier to Nate Hall, but I would love to see a deep shot opportunity here. See if they could just get, you know, 15, 20 yards maybe.
3 receivers at the bottom of the screen, finding LZ Pryor on a slant route. That's something you might want to keep in mind, a route that worked very, very well there. They may want to go back to that with Pryor.
But now you're starting to see those offensive weapons get involved, right? Jack Flash getting a catch, LZ Pryor getting a catch, right? Sawyer Stern's going to be a little bit more involved now with the injury. So that is what you want to see. Spread the ball around. Queen City doesn't need to be just focused on one guy.
Richardson to throw. And right off the hands of the intended target. Now, I do believe let me confirm that was Adam Grabowski, the tight end, trying to get him involved. Just like you said, Chad, trying to get people going here. Almost had a completion.
I mean, that was just you can't even blame Sully Richardson for that. That was a perfectly thrown ball. Grabowski, I don't know if it was just in his hands and out or it was broken up, but regardless, you can't blame Sully Richardson. That was a great throw.
Less than a minute to go in this first half. Richardson throws, and again, broken up. Lee takes a shot. Nate Hall really just dropped the hammer, we'll say, on Chris Lee on that one. Incomplete.
Nate Hall, a guy who has made plays for 10 seasons, you know, with different organizations in Chicago last season, now coming over here to Queen City, making a huge play there because that was an easy first down, and he breaks it up.
Keep an eye on LZ Pryor going in motion now to the bottom of your screen. Richardson going to throw quickly, and finally Chris Lee able to haul that one in. 1st and goal. 1 timeout remaining for Los Angeles. They do not want to use it. They stay in the same formation. Richardson to the end zone and touchdown. Guess who, Chad?
Yeah, I mean, the same play, the same route, the same throw. I mean, Chris Lee taking advantage of that young corner, Elijah Quick. I mean, he was the 11th overall pick, one of the best corners to come out of the SFL draft. But Chris Lee, a Grizzly veteran, the first play just beats him into the inside, does it once again. LA with a quick strike, and that's exactly what you want to see with this LA offense. They've struggled to get out the gate a little bit. Right now, they got 14 points. That's really good. Last week, they only scored 16 in the whole game.
You mentioned Chad Elijah Quick there. He ran forward before realizing I just let the receiver get totally by me. And the extra point is good by John Smith. Los Angeles takes a 14-7 lead before halftime here.
Yeah, and this is interesting, right? Queen City has got all 3 timeouts. You know, are they going to see an opportunity here to maybe try to be aggressive and try to maybe get at least 3 points on the board? Let's see how head coach Chad Stinson plays this.
Adrian Ellis, senior, with the kneel down. And as you said, with 40 seconds, we'll see just how aggressive Queen City wants to be here. Michael Brown has struggled this second quarter, being on target with some of his throws. Of course, pressure has gotten to him. We'll see just how how much they want to put it in his hands here before the half. Throwing, that pass is complete to Matthew. Out in the open, gain of 5, but not much right there. And it looks like, Chad, they're pretty comfortable to let the clock run down here.
Yeah, it looks like, I was hoping maybe to see something kind of a deep shot, maybe just try it, just to see if you can get some yardage, but they went short to Matthews Jr., and as you said, Cameron, they're just going to let this run out.
Keeping it on the ground, they will get the first down. And we will not see a timeout. We will see the clock run down here. We'll head to halftime. Queen City competent to go into the locker rooms, down by 7, but it's been a great game up to this point. Can't imagine what the second half is going to have in store. But first, we welcome you in to the SFL Halftime Report. Cameron Duty here with Chad Rowland. Chad, I'm going to ask you, what was some of the things you were most impressed with that first half, and what do you expect to see maybe change going into the third quarter?
One of the things that we talked about before the game was a matchup between Sully Richardson and that secondary. And Sully Richardson so far 10 of 15, 118 yards, 2 TDs and a pick, really being effective. He had that one play to Nate Hall, but other than that, he's been really solid. And looking on the other side here, the defense, the rookies for Queen City have done a really good job so far. As you can see there, Chris Lee, the highlight player of this half. And what I want to see in the second half out of Queen City is just get going, right? Michael Brown has struggled. 5 of 11, 42 yards, 45.5 completion percentage. That needs to go up, right? And obviously, 7 targets for James Matthews Jr. You do have Joseph Badet, Ryan Davis, and Bob Wood, and Joe Beasley. Joe Beasley went off for over 200 yards last week in that game against Oklahoma City. Has only had 2 targets in this game. So I want to see, as I talked about with LA, they started to spread the ball around, and you see what the result was. Queen City needs to start doing the same thing.
We welcome you back to start the second half here. Thorpe Field at Evo 9X Stadium, where Los Angeles will come out for their first drive of the second half. And I'll tell you what, Chad, if they could do it, imagine if they could pull away here, what a difference that's going to make in Queen City's game plan if Los Angeles is able to get a touchdown.
Yeah, they're going to have to be playing from behind. It'll be interesting how they do that.
On the ground, not much there. Queen City able to make the stop. We take a quick peek at the team stats so far. Los Angeles coming on strong that second quarter. Starting to feel comfortable, this Lycan team. Richardson to throw the pass off the hands of the linebacker, Grackleflint. Now, he is becoming quite a problem for this Los Angeles team trying to break into the secondary.
Yeah, I wonder if LA was looking at this matchup and saying, well, they got, Grackleflint there, who's a second-round pick playing the inside linebacker position. But so far, he has been winning those matchups and really doing a good job.
Now we see Iniguez going in motion, and we talked about his ability to catch and run routes. As he settles in at the bottom of the screen, an empty set, and Richardson to throw that way. It finds Chris Lee coming across the middle, turns upfield, and gets the first down.
Yeah, Chris Lee's just been the target machine tonight here for LA so far. I believe that's his 10th target, and just making a brilliant catch there. Nice little route ran. Nate Hall did not get there in time, was able to make the tackle, though, and get a first down.
Up to this point, I must say, this is the best I've seen Los Angeles looking at some time, settling in, getting comfortable. And on the ground game, you see them working in Damian Hunter, as Rudlang's still yet to return to the game. So Hunter comes off the bench and gets a 6-yard gain.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. We didn't see Rugland come in, but now you got Sawyer Stern back there. And yeah, I have to agree with you. This is the best I've seen LA's offense in quite some time.
Jack Flash moving now to the bottom of your screen to the right of Sully Richardson, but they keep it on the ground with Sawyer Stern. Speaking of being stern, that Queen City defense wouldn't let him even get cut upfield. A good tackle made by Grackleflint once more.
Yeah, Grackleflint, 7 tackles so far tonight, as you can see right there, and a sack. So, I mean, this rookie has just been playing phenomenal.
Big third down coming up here as we see Grabowski going in motion for Los Angeles. He settles in to the left side of the line, and Richardson there. Pressure coming and going to try to step up, and he is brought down. The big man, Harley Wilson, 6'5", 256. There is another rookie second-round pick making a name for himself.
I mean, there once again, Harley Wilson looked like they might have been unblocked coming off that edge there, but really just chasing down. Sully Richardson did not see that coming. Started right at the end, he did, but did not do it quick enough, and Wilson was able to get the sack.
Nice punt by John Smith, and again, another hit laid, that time by Monty Wyatt, who honestly at this point is having too much fun hitting these return men.
Yeah, I think, Monty Wyatt was a former starter, I believe, at Carolina at one point, coming over to L.A., and still playing that special team slot. I think he's just like, hey, I just want to go hit some people, being a headhunter, and he's done a terrific job so far tonight.
So Queen City, their defense did its job. Keeps them within one score here. We'll see if Michael Brown finds a little bit more of a rhythm. Play clock all the way down to 2 before they snap it, and they give it to Charlie Baker, who gets 4 on the first carry.
Yeah, you just want to see some positive yards, and Charlie Baker was able to do that. I want to see Michael Brown do a throw, because I'm agreeing with you, Cameron. I want to see if he's able to calm down after that half and be able to make some good throws.
Barker once again on the carry, so coming out run heavy here to start things. And that's been a 3rd and 2 situation, Chad, where basically it could go either way here.
Yeah, I mean, Queen City right now so far 3 of 7 on third down conversions so far tonight. And, I mean, that's not where you want to be. You want to see it a little bit higher, but let's see if they're able to convert this 3rd and short.
They keep it on the ground, and just pushing the pile forward is Ace Ketchum. A great physical piece of running there, because while they made initial contact behind the sticks, he keeps the legs churning and gets the first.
I mean, just what else can you say, right? I mean, 6'2", 225. He's just got some muscle. He's a north and south runner and able to show it right there by getting that first down.
Brown throwing the screen pass out of the backfield for Baker, and it is read very well. So well, in fact, that Brogan Sparrow would barely let him get past the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, just a nice defensive play there by Sparrow. Sparrow was a defensive end, if I remember correctly, that converted back over to outside linebacker, and showing the athleticism right there why they moved him to the outside.
1 yard gain. That brings up 2nd and 9. Pressure coming in again. He gets it from both sides, as Michael Brown had no idea that he was about to get tag teamed there by a couple of Lycans, and a big loss.
Yeah, the Lycans over there just making a Michael Brown sandwich right there, as Sparrow was on one side and they had Greg Ward, I believe, on the other side, and just made a nice bun to the sandwich there, as Queen City now in 3rd and long situation.
Brown now going to have to get rid of this one, and he does. He finds James.
What a play.
And right when I was going to say, Chad, it felt like he couldn't be any more rattled. He comes back, delivers a strike to his very comfortable target, but it works out for him.
I mean, that route has been just money for them tonight. I mean, they did throw an interception on that same play to Monty Wyatt, but this time James Matthews Jr., Michael Brown standing in the pocket, just delivering it with the pressure getting to him. What a great play there.
It's 1st and 10. New set of downs here for Queen City. They try to run up the middle with Ace Ketchum, but nothing there. Blackwell on the stop.
Yeah, Ace Ketchum getting stopped by Ace Blackwell. It was ace on ace crime right there, as Blackwell with the win on that one.
Well, how about that? Both teams have an ace in their deck.
They got an ace in the hole there, Cameron.
1 yard gain on 1st down. That sets up 2nd and 9, and Baker now ready to run, doing a good job of busting through the hole, and you want to see more of that by these halfbacks for Queen City. That could make a big difference for them.
Yeah, and Queen City, they run right up the middle right there. They got Damon Pickle, who's an undrafted rookie 6'5", 305 pounds. And Baker is one of those guys that if he's able to get some speed going, he can get going, as he's shown right there.
Approaching 4 minutes remaining in this third quarter. Michael Brown leaps over a Lycan defender and slides. That was one of the best decisions that I've seen Michael Brown make this entire game, able to use his footwork. And, you know, we talked about it really early in this game, Chad. We said that he was a rough and tumble quarterback built to take off and run when he needs to. And right there, you've seen it on display once more.
Yep, once again, Michael Brown just showing that athleticism he has.
And catch him with a good run that time. And you got to believe the more they keep feeding him, the more that you're going to see of that. He's just a couple of tackles away from really breaking one free here.
Yeah, I mean, Ace Ketchum, 6 attempts for 15 yards. He's only got 2.5 yards per carry, but we know what he could do. We've seen it last week, and we'll see the continuance here momentarily.
Yeah, you can't sleep on this guy. Brown to throw to Matthew Jr. Now that was in double coverage. Somehow Matthew able to come up with it. It's a good thing he did, because that could have been disastrous had he not, but it does go for a gain of 4.
I mean, what I loved about that play, though, Cameron, was the fact that Michael Brown saw the pressure coming and knew where his check down was, and he was able to just hit James Matthews Jr., even though he was in double coverage.
Brown, he's going to get hit again and wrapped up and thrown to the turf. The big man, Ace Blackwell, coming in. We just mentioned him earlier. He throws Michael Brown down to the ground, all 6'4", 291, bearing down on him.
Yeah, Ace Blackwell, one of those guys. He didn't really record a stat last week in that game, but this time he's been doing some damage with a nice tackle earlier on Ace Ketchum, and now the sack here to force a long third down.
Big play, and you hear that Los Angeles crowd come into effect, trying to rattle Michael Brown and company. Man in motion. That's Bob Wood. Pressure coming from the backside. He steps up to run, and he just has to tuck it away and take the hit. 4th and 6 coming up, and you got to wonder if this is field goal range here.
Yeah, Ace Blackwell was looking to get another sack. And a great pickup block there so Michael Brown can sneak away, but he did not get the first down, and it's going to force Queen City to punt.
Yeah, they're going to punt it away. And this one is a high end over end. Not a lot of depth on it, but it does take a decent bounce. So instead of opting for a really long field goal there, they go for the punt to try to pin them deep. And Los Angeles' defense able to stand up and make a big play.
Yeah, I mean, you got a 5-season veteran back there with Joe Garfield as your kicker, but I may have just been just outside his range.
So for Los Angeles here, they start with the ground game, and it's pushed backward immediately by Morgan Brown, who is having a fantastic evening.
Yeah, Morgan Brown, 4 tackles on the night, along with that fumble recovery. And as we've talked about over and over again, I think it's going to be a story that people will talk about in the media this week. Queen City's rookies stepping up on defense.
Flip back. Niguez with the carry once more. We are yet to see the return of Patrick Rudlang. And correct me if I'm wrong, Chad, but I feel like it has really made a difference on this offensive attack for Los Angeles.
Yeah, I think so, right? Because they're not really getting Sawyer Stern involved in her. Sawyer Stern was a former fullback at Vancouver and could be kind of that power back situation. They kind of just went away from that a little bit. I think they really do miss that rugging for sure.
Empty set here on third down. Pressure coming around the edges. Richardson stands in there and throws one too far ahead of his intended target. He was going for Elsie Pryor, but nothing there, and they will have to punt it away. A short drive for the Lycans.
Yeah, and as Bob Uecker used to say back in the day, just a bit outside, as he looked like he just overthrew it, or maybe even tried to throw him in stride, and he just did not hit him in the right spot. But Sully Richardson throwing that Nolan Ryan fastball at him, and it results in a turnover.
As a fan of vintage play calling, I can very much appreciate that reference there, Chad.
You got to always pull out some Bob Uecker references.
Yeah, there you go. Absolutely. Maybe a little bit of Marty Brenneman, too. Yeah, that was always one of my favorites.
There we go. There we go.
Yep. I could go all evening talking about that, but we'll get back to the game here. 1st and 10 for Queen City on the 46-yard line. They've got good field position. They've got to take advantage of it here. And on the ground, they keep it with Ketchum, who gets 3. We'll see if we see one more play out of these Corsairs or if they will head to the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I really would love to see, even though we're going to probably get to the fourth quarter with this drive, I would really love to see them score on this drive because you want to take the crowd out of it because right now, them Lycan fans are going a little crazy.
Hand off again, maybe a little safe there. They give it to Baker. Not wanting to push the envelope too much before we head to this final stanza. And here we go. One more quarter to play. If you like defensive football, you've come to the right place. Los Angeles leads Queen City 14-7. One more quarter to play. You're watching the SFL on the Virtual Football Network on YouTube. Camera duty here with Chad Rowland. We got to thank our stats guys, of course. Takeda Yuki and Corey Mann are doing a great job. Haven't heard much from Cameron Irvine at SFL headquarters this evening, but he is there. We thank him for all his contributions. Brown to throw now, and he finds Matt, who somehow skips out of that first tackle and is brought down after getting the first.
Yeah, I thought he was just going to hop right over Mike Scott right there for a second. He kind of did a little bit, and Matthews Jr. with an opportunity to maybe extend that play, but nice quick tackling there by Blackwell. Or Burgess Farrar, sorry.
The big man showing some athleticism there.
Yeah, but look at these team stats here, Cameron. I mean, almost just dead even when it comes to the total yards here.
Standing in there, Brown throwing a deep shot, and he finds his man, Joe Beasley. Welcome to the party, my friend. Coming over from Nashville, a former All-Star, making a big play.
Yeah, Joe Beasley. I mean, this was a guy last week, 9 catches, 214 yards, and 2 TDs in that shootout against Oklahoma City, and finally getting his name called here. And that was a big play to get it to the red zone.
Split backs on first down for Queen City. And on the carry, Baker gets pushed back. Not much there at all. In fact, that'll be a loss. Monty Wyatt blows up that play.
Yeah, it looked like Greg Ward may have gotten there first in the backfield, and then Monty Wyatt was able to clean it up. But regardless, I mean, that was just a great play there by the linebacker corps.
One-yard loss, 2nd and 11 now for Queen City, and they know just how desperately they need this drive. Brown throwing to the end zone. It was almost a beautiful reception. That would have been a candidate for the nice hands catch if Adrian Ellis Sr. had reeled that one in.
Yeah, Adrian Ellis Sr. was just, I mean, he saw him wide open in stride, but I don't know if he saw Monty Wyatt just playing center field back there. Great play there by the defense to stop that one.
You know, I got to say, watching that in real time, I struggled to see Monty Wyatt sitting there. Blended in perfectly with the end zone artwork, and a great job.
Maybe that's by design there, Cameron. They want these Lycans to blend in.
A little strategic.
I mean, you can see the big one outside the stadium. I don't think he's blending in.
He is the only one that they want you to see.
Yeah, pretty much.
3rd and 11, huge play here. Brown to throw, going for Matthew, his 3rd down target. Bounces off, incomplete, and I tell you what, that one is disheartening for Queen City. A great drive. It's going to stall out here, and you expect them to go for the field goal here and take the points, and they will.
I was kind of hoping to see a replay of that because Burgess Farrar came out and was just untouched. But somebody, I'm not sure who it was, picked up a nice little chip block there. Even though that the pass was incomplete, Michael Brown was able to get it off because of that. But it was just a great block there by whoever that was.
Joe Garfield with the 30-yard attempt. He puts it right down the middle. Good. Making this game a little bit closer now. A 4-point game. So Queen City turning on just a little bit. LA really wanting to have a good drive here with 8:20 left in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, this game is coming down to the wire. We kind of predicted this would be a close one there, Cameron.
Yeah, we did. I think as we watch this run back here, I think that we honestly probably seen that on the schedule and had the same reaction that, this really has the potential for a really good game.
Absolutely, especially the way that Queen City played last week and knowing what LA's offense has looked like, at least up until this moment. But so far, I mean, LA, even though they've only put up 14 points, they have really efficiently moved the ball down the field. This, I feel like, Cameron, is the drive that you want to try to put this game away.
A critical drive indeed, Chad, for Los Angeles to start here from the 31-yard line as Richardson. Toss play left side to Iniguez, steps over a defender, kind of absorbs the blow there and keeps running for a gain of 6. That was some hard-earned yardage.
Yeah, and I know Iniguez has not been in the running back position for very long here, but when you look at that, I mean, he really cut back inside. The block was there. He could have easily, with that speed he has, moved to the outside. I think a little bit of that ball carrier vision would need to be improved on during practice this next week.
Stern trying to get a little more acclimated with this system here. Nothing doing, unfortunately, 3rd and 6. And again, as if you're just joining us and you're looking for Patrick Rudling injured in the second quarter, and you can tell it has hampered Los Angeles' offensive attack just a little bit. Hanging on to this 4-point lead, it's 3rd and 6, and this is a big one. Richardson to throw off the hands of Chris Lee. And boy, that would have been big if he could have held on to that. And he takes a shot afterwards.
I mean, Chris Lee catching over 70% of his passes up until that point. And, I mean, when you are a veteran like Chris Lee, if it's in the hands, you got to make that catch. Absolutely got to make it.
Certainly been the workhorse this evening for LA, but definitely needed him to come up with that one. John Smith able to kick this one away. He gets a pretty good punt here, back to the 20. Good open field. Oh, not Monty White at that time, but he stops him at the 27. And let's go to Cameron Irvine for the SFL game break for the first time this evening. Good evening, Cam.
Thank you, Cam, and it'll be our last. A lot of defense in this one. Charleston led the game 7-0, but they didn't score after that. Pseudo Nakai gets Vancouver's only touchdown, and Vancouver wins on the road to improve to 1-0, 16-7 over the Preds. Back to you.
Thank you, Cam. Final score from right there. Vancouver getting the victory over Charleston. And we've got a good one here, folks. Thank you for joining us if you're coming over from another game. Michael Brown hit again on the weak side. Coming in and completely obliterating Michael Brown is Brogan Spera.
Yeah, and this is something that has been happening all night long, right? I mean, Brogan Spera has really just taken advantage of that left tackle. One of the things you want your left tackle to do is to be able to be that anchor of the offensive line. And so far, Spera is just making that offensive lineman just look like a young little puppy.
4-yard loss on that sack, and now all of a sudden Brown has to chuck it downfield. Dangerous as it's bobbled a time or two. Falls to the ground harmlessly, but yeah, Queen City is rattled right now. This defense for Los Angeles is predatory.
I mean, both of these outside linebackers, Spera and Ward, they've only got one sack, and Spera's got a half a sack. But when you look at what they're doing with that pressure on the outside edge, they have just been containing Michael Brown all night long.
Pump fakes, and he pays for it. Again, you could tell there was just a clear evidence of misawareness there by Michael Brown, and coming in to make the hit is Nick Brummer's second sack of the drive.
Yeah, we haven't really called Nick Brummer's name tonight, but look at the pressure coming into there. I mean, there's like 3 or 4 other Lycans besides Brummer right there, ready to take him down, and that is the 5th sack allowed tonight for Queen City. And that is one thing, if they're going to try to be a better team in this SFL, they have got to improve that offensive line play.
Man, big play by the Lycan defense. And I tell you what, if you are Queen City or a fan of Queen City, you're starting to get a little bit panicked here. That clock running down. Los Angeles could take a big chunk out of it here with a good drive starting from Queen City's 48.
Yeah, and I would hope that, the defensive coordinator for the Queen City Corsairs, Chaz Stinson, who's also the head coach, was telling his defense, this is it. You cannot let them get a first down.
Richardson to throw. Chris Lee out in the wide open flats along the sidelines. Converts that one, and already in field goal range for the Lycans.
Well, if Chad Stetson did say that on the sideline, the defense did not listen. I mean, I don't understand how you leave Chris Lee that wide open. I mean, Elijah Quinn, granted, he is a rookie. He is going to make the mistakes, but you can't be playing off the ball like that, especially against a guy that just now got over 100 yards receiving on you today.
Yeah, playing way too deep on Chris Lee as he has made some great catches. Niguez with the carry, pushing forward to about the 20. A 5-yard gain there. And Richardson, Sully Richardson, has had a nice day at the office to this point. 12 of 20 for 157 yards.
Yeah, 2 TDs and a pick as well. Just over 97 QBR for him today. And Richardson can get interception prone every now and then, but today he's really kept it in check.
Sawyer Stern pushing forward, doesn't get much, so a big 3rd and 4 coming up here. You know, an interesting stat here, Chad. Richardson with 12 completions, Chris Lee with 8 receptions.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, we've
Chris
talked
Lee has
about
been the main target.
Yeah, I've talked about these other wide receivers not getting too many targets today, but so far it has worked in their favor with Chris Lee making some big plays. There's another one to Elsey Pryor. It's going to come up short, though, 4th and 2. So Queen City's defense, they hold right there. They're going to push Los Angeles to attempt a field goal here, we would think.
Yeah, looking like it. 35-yard field goal.
John Smith. Snap, the hold, the kick.
No good.
Is no good. Wide left, and it stays a 4-point game. And to add to that injury here, Chris Cooper down on the turf. Man.
And that is a huge break there for Queen City. LA on that 3rd down, they're 41% on their 3rd down conversions tonight. Just not able to extend these drives, and giving Queen City this time in some good field position. This is going to be interesting. Let's see what this defense can do. They got to keep the pressure on Michael Brown in order to secure this win.
Hooked it left, and that was a heartbreaker. And instead of it being a touchdown game here, it's a 4-point game. Queen City does have to get to the end zone to score here, but that would be the difference, of course, between winning the game and tying the game, is that missed field goal. Got a long way to go, but plenty of time to do it here, Chad. 4 minutes and counting.
Yeah, they definitely got plenty of time. There's no need to really rush. Just go through your progressions, go through your game plan, and see if you can get the offense moving.
Flip backs on 2nd and 7, and nothing doing there for the halfback. Again, coming off the bench, Randy Jordan. 3rd and 7. This Lycan defense at times has been its best offense.
Yep, and right now it's been doing so far so good on here. Michael Brown, 4-wide set. Let's see if he can make the complete play. Only needs 7 yards.
Pressure coming. He stands in there. James Matthew Jr. somehow, I don't even know how, threaded that needle in there, but he made it stick.
I mean, I would think that was got to be the nice hands catch of the game, but can we just talk about the dot right there by Michael Brown? Pressure getting to him, big 3rd down, extending the drive, and Michael Brown shows you why he's the starter here at Queen City. What a throw.
Yeah, we will call that the nice hands catch, brought to you by Richwood. Put a Richwood handheld in your hands and play the only video game with your player in it, SFL 4K23. And after that, amazing gain of 1 on 1st down.
Yeah, I was curious if they were going to bring in Ketchup because I haven't really seen him come in lately, but now he's in the backfield right there.
2nd and 9, pressure coming around the edge again off the hands of Matthew Jr., and it's kind of like Chris Lee there. The majority of the receptions has been made by Matthew Jr., but dropping a big one when they needed it.
Yeah, pretty wild that the 11th target for each of them guys has just been a complete drop, right? Chris Lee earlier on his 11th target dropped a huge pass. James Matthews Jr., his 11th target, he drops an easy one that he knows that he can catch. It should have been a 1st down.
3rd and 9 coming up. Big play here. Defense closing in, but finding a wide open receiver. was Michael Brown as he finds Joe Beasley, who sheds a tackle and gets the first, and this game is still alive for the Corsairs.
There you go. Get Beasley involved. That is a guy that can make some plays, right? I mean, we've seen it last week. Nice little crossing route there. Kind of almost ran like a picket fence sort of thing from the old Hoosiers movie back in the day, right? You set the pick and you get your wide receiver to move. That was just a great play call there by Queen City.
Man, we are setting up for an exciting final 2 minutes in this game. Queen City on the move. Look at this, breaking free here. Charlie Baker getting close to the first down, and man, he was just a missed tackle away from taking it to the house.
Yeah, I got to tell you, Monty Wyatt just saved a touchdown.
As we said, the final 2 minutes, you don't want to go anywhere. This is going to be good. You're watching the SFL on YouTube. Cameron Duty and Chad Rowland here, delighted to be with you for this heck of a game we have had this evening. Corey Mitter and Takeda Yuki on stats. Cameron Irvine at SFL headquarters. Pleased to bring this one to you tonight on this Sunday evening nightcap, if you will. They're looking for a first down here, and they're going to get it. Ace Ketchum with the carry. And now, boy, I tell you what, this is really playing into Queen City's hands here. They're chewing clock down and moving the football.
Yeah, I mean, and they have to get a touchdown, right? If this is a field goal situation, you would feel really good right now, but they are inside the red zone. Queen City's got to score here.
Playing it on the ground. Pretty conservative here to Baker, but they get inside the 10 and rolls down to about the 7-yard line. 2nd and 5 clock continuing to run, minute 25 to go. And I guess at this point, go ahead, Chad.
I don't mind the conservativeness, right? I mean, your clock is running, but you're getting yardage. You're getting positive yardage.
On the ground, getting close. Oh man, catch him. They're going to mark him short of the first, 3rd and inches. Do not expect LA to take any timeouts in this situation. They're going to want to, obviously try to preserve that if they need it here.
Here we go.
This
Under a
is
minute
big.
to go.
3rd and inches.
Single back formation. Very interesting play call here.
And pushing to the end zone is Charlie Baker for the touchdown. And the go-ahead lead for Queen City with 47 seconds to go.
I mean, an ace formation right there, tight end on each side. It's interesting that you don't kind of go with a heavier set there with a fullback or something, but Charlie Baker, a guy with speed, he's not known to be that bruising type of back. That's Ace Ketchum, but he shows that he was able to use the muscle he has and was able to push that in there for 6. Great play calling there by Chad Stinson.
Joe Garfield with the extra point. That was an 11-play, 74-yard drive, and it took up all but 47 seconds in regulation. Now, Los Angeles can get in field goal range here. This is nowhere near over, folks.
No.
This is going to be good. A classic finish here in Los Angeles on this Sunday night. We'll see about this return here by Bubba Tree. Stopped at the 29-yard line. All right,
Man,
Chad.
I got to tell you, that missed field goal may come back to haunt a little bit here.
Yeah, you start to feel it, don't you? I mean, at the end of this one.
I mean, now what do you do, right? I mean, obviously, head coach Sully Richardson, he's got to be able to be aggressive, right? Like I said, I am a fan of deep shots. I would love to see maybe a deep shot right here, 43 seconds to go. This is the formation to do it. Let's see if he can maybe hit Chris Lee down the sideline.
3 receivers at the top of the screen. Sully Richardson throwing. Oh, and he looked like he had his man breaking on it there. That was Jack Flash. A little too much heat on that pass. It's incomplete. I did like the approach, though. I think you're right. That was a good shot to take on first down.
Yeah, I would have loved to see it. Looked like that same kind of route that Chris Lee ran when they went back-to-back and got that touchdown. I would love to see maybe somebody else in that spot, but Jack Flash is very capable of making that play, but we'll see what they do here on second down.
2 receivers on either side of quarterback Sully Richardson. Pressure coming, but it's picked up. He throws it in and out of the hands of Jack Flash, going for him again on that right side. And it's 3rd and 10. I'll tell you what, this LA crowd, which has been in control the better portion of this second half, all of a sudden feeling nervous here.
Yeah, and a big play there by the rookie Elijah Quick. Let's point that out. I mean, he has been getting kind of abused tonight and makes a big play when it counts.
3rd and 10, 3 receivers at the top of the screen. Richardson again looking that way, and this time he finds Chris Lee, just what he needed, calling the timeout there. And they'll stop the clock.
And there's that play, Cameron, right? You just getting that little quick little, just like a streak almost, right? And, Chris Lee maybe just makes a shimmy move to the inside, hits him in stride right there. Beautiful, beautiful pitch and catch there by Richardson and Lee.
Richardson again, interception! Oh my goodness! And that's going to do it, folks. Queen City, with that interception by Morgan Brown, is going to do something they haven't done since season 17, and that is go 2-0 to start the regular season.
Is that B.J. Loveless back in a Queen City uniform making that kind of play? You usually don't see the interior linebackers making those kind of plays, but Morgan Brown, a rookie, fumble recovery. He had a sack, I believe, earlier in the game. Or no, he did not have a sack, but had that fumble recovery and now seals the game to get your team to their first 2-0 start since season 17, back when Chris Kamasak was the head coach of Queen City.
There you go. Morgan Brown, for those efforts there and that interception, the clutch interception, that'll be our breakaway play of the game, brought to you by Breaks GPT. Sports memorabilia breakers and collectors. You never know whose autographed helmet or jersey you might hit. Check them out at breaksgpt.com. You might just very well find that helmet of Morgan Brown. I tell you what, that's going to be big for the rookie. Final timeout for Los Angeles here, but my goodness, Queen City, how good must they be feeling right now?
I mean, really, really good, right? I mean, and you took the words right out of my mouth after that Breaks GPT. I was going to say, well, maybe you'll find Morgan Brown's helmet there in the Breaks GPT and everybody be buying it. But what a game. I mean, we talked about it during this game. The Queen City defense by these rookies, simply phenomenal. And if you are in the SFLM and you're watching these rookies make an impact, just know that could be you in the future.
It sure could. And folks, with that, Queen City improves to 2-0. As we said, season 17, the last time it was done, but they just put the entire league on notice. Final score 17-14. Chad Rowland, your final thoughts and game balls, my friend.
I mean, let me just tell you this, right? I mean, Queen City up and down, simply phenomenal, right? I mean, just a great game. Charlie Baker, 17 carries for 77 yards, had a touchdown as well, that one that sealed the game there to giving them the lead. And then, I mean, James Matthews Jr., I mean, 7 catches for 65 yards as well. Joe Beasley had some big catches, but in my opinion, I'm telling you, the game ball is getting split into multiple pieces, and it's going to go to every rookie on that Queen City defense. Because, I mean, when you look at it, I mean, Harley Wilson had a sack, right? You look at Morgan Brown with the fumble recovery and the game-sealing interception. Elijah Quick made some really good plays as well. So this Josiah Grackleflint, I mean, we talked about him all night long. So those are where my game ball is going, Cameron. What about you?
Well, I have to agree with you there. In the end, I'm going to give that final one to Morgan Brown for an incredible play. As we said, the Breaks GPT play of the game, the breakaway play. What an evening, folks, right here in Los Angeles. Queen City improving to 2-0. LA falls to 0-2. We want to remind you, join Cameron Irvine and Mike St. Green for another SFL this week at 7:15 before Bossier City and Pittsburgh clash on the Monday Night Spectacular at 8:15 Eastern Time tomorrow night. And what a good one, an instant classic. I want to thank Takeda Yuki and Corey Minner in the stats truck, of course, Cameron Irvine at SFL headquarters, and for my partner, Chad Rowland. My name is Cameron Duty. What better way to end a weekend than this game right here? You've been watching the SFL on the Virtual Football Network on YouTube. Have a good night. We'll see you next time. Take care, everybody.